Staying with the drought situation in the country, we now cross over to the county of Kitui. My colleague Nancy Okware is on that bit. Nancy, good evening.
Well, a very good evening to you, Muchuma on Dim. We are coming to you live from Kitui town, right here in Kitui County. We have been here since Monday, just following up on the drought situation in the country. As we know, Kitui County is one of the counties that have been affected by the ongoing drought that has so far affected over 3.3 million people. Now, I'd like to paint a picture of what we found on the ground on Tuesday as we went into the various parts of Kitui County. For instance, we started off with an area called Musenge in Kitui South. It is one of the areas that have been affected by the ongoing drought. It is about over 100 kilometers from Kitui town. On our way to that area, we noticed that the farmers had planted their crops, hoping that the October, November and December rains would be adequate. But unfortunately, we witnessed failing crops because they did not live up to expectation due to the failed rainfall, meaning that the farmers who depended on that for their livelihood were unable to harvest anything. And in fact, we were told that the last harvest that has been a bit fruitful in that county was in May 2025, meaning that the farmers in this area have been forced to survive with whatever little they had harvested in May for around 9 months. We also noticed that there is a problem with water because on the way we could see, donkeys carrying jerry cans in pursuit of waters. And of course, it is just to show you how dire the situation is in these counties. And also we could spot water pans that these area residents depend on for their livestock and of course for their crops had dried up. And of course the situation is a bit dire because even the riverbeds that are usually full when the seasons when it is in the rainy season, the waterbeds had already dried up. But amid all that, we could see some people who are unable to travel for long distances in search of water. They were trying to to fetch water in the riverbeds by digging up the riverbeds just to get the water that is stored underground, just to show you how dire the situation is in this county. And now when we got to Musenge town, that is in Kitui South, now there's a different story because right here, apart from the area residents battling the ongoing drought, they are also battling cases of insecurity. We know that the area for years now, it has been facing the issue with illegal herders that are said to be from the neighboring Tana River County. They are said to be driving their camels into the farms, destroying all the crops that the farmers were hoping to harvest and of course to feed on during this season. It is a dire situation because it is now a deserted town. We only met a few people and they told us that during the day they are there, but at night they are forced to go into the bushes to hide because any minute the herders, the illegal herders, camel herders, invade their farms. And of course, we also went with them to the bushes where they spend their nights with their children. It is a tough situation because they are forced to sleep there at night without food. They have to look for food and at the same time ensure that they are safe and that they are sleeping in, makeshift structures that they have, put up in the forest. We also visited one of the schools in that area, neighboring the Musenge town, and that school has, pupils, primary school children, and we talked to one of the teachers who told us the situation is so dire because any given day, out of around 20 pupils, only 2 have food. When it's lunchtime, you find that 20 pupils, only 2 of them have food, meaning that the rest do not have food. It is a clear representation of how dire the situation is. We also saw, some, animals, some livestock being auctioned, perhaps with the farmers afraid of what might be coming. They are not sure if the rains are going to be adequate. We expect that the rains are going to, commence anytime in March all the way to April. But if that does not happen, the livestock farmers are taking precautionary measures just to ensure that they do not incur further losses. These are some of the stories we'll be filing, and of course we'll be updating our viewers on Thursday when we'll be airing our comprehensive bulletin on the drought situation in the country. For now, we will continue traversing the Kitui County just to assess the situation, and of course we are going to be speaking to duty bearers just to see what are some of the measures that have been put in place to ensure that the families affected are cushioned from further effects of the ongoing drought. But for now, it's back to you, Muchuma Odim, in studio.
Thank you, Nancy Okware, for well-detailed updates from the county of Kitui. These 10 counties are largely affected by the drought situation in the country, and KBC Channel 1 is keeping a close eye in several counties. This as we look forward to the Thursday bulletin that will mainly focus on the drought situation in the country. Remember, we have able teams across the country, so be sure to keep it KBC Channel 1.